Hi, my name is Mark. I'm a trainee. Called the Lederman Traineeship with Sussex Wildlife Trust. I've been doing that for a year. I got into this because I've been trying to get into the conservation sector for quite a while. I started volunteering. I was volunteering at Durlston in Dorset and loved it. I loved working outdoors and educating people about the outdoors and about wildlife. And I thought, I really want to do this as a job. So I started to look into how to get into it. I left school without the grades to be able to do things like ecology or biology. So I never really considered that I could get into it until I found that there were traineeships like this. So this was actually my fourth attempt getting onto this kind of traineeship. And so it was a lot of persistence. I kept going and got on it. And it's been amazing. It's been an absolute life-changing thing for me. Prior to this, when I was looking at jobs in the sector, I wanted to become a ranger and work out on reserves and manage the landscape and look after wildlife. But what I was lacking was that practical experience. So the thing this traineeship's given me are things like brush cutter use, chainsawing, and then it brought in the community engagement stuff. So I've learned how to deliver forest school, and we have a thing called Wild Beach as well, which is like forest school by the sea, which is amazing. So just having that suite of practical skills was what's enabled me to move forward in this sector. So my traineeship was for 18 months. I've been in the traineeship for 12 months and I've actually been able to get a job quite soon. It came up unexpectedly. I hadn't been looking, but my partner noticed a job that was where he was working, and he's in Dorset, I'm in Sussex. So it was a case of like, oh, well, I had all the skills that were on the job spec. So I thought, why not? I'll apply for it and see what happens. So I've actually got a job with the National Trust on the Purbeck estate now. Again, I wouldn't have got that if I hadn't have been through this year of getting all of that experience and all those practical skills. So to be able to move so soon from this traineeship and into the sector is just incredible. So I'm really grateful for Sussex Wildlife Trust for providing that opportunity. And also I should mention that the Wildlife Trust worked in partnership with another trust, the Laysdown Conservation Trust. And the reason my traineeship is called a Lederman Traineeship is because it was created at the request of a lady, Dr. Vera Lederman. She left in her will a large sum of money and a property to be put as training, a place to train people in the conservation sector. So without that generous legacy, my experience and the experience of all the other people before me wouldn't have happened. So I think that's another thing that I just think is an incredible gift as well. So something that was really special about this traineeship was that the funding was there to provide the practical things that are quite standard in the industry, like the chainsawing, the brush cutting and things. But there was also a budget there for you to specialise if you wanted to. And I have a really deep passion for birds. I'd like my career to go in that direction. I'd like to be more involved with bird conservation particularly. So something that came up, and it was the people I met here at Rye Harbour actually, they were involved in bird ringing. And I thought, well, I'd like to try that actually. I'd like to have a go at doing that. I'd never done it before, but the budget was there for me to apply for my licence, and then time for me to come out 1 day a week and join experts in handling the birds and knowing how to process those birds with care and really take the bird's welfare comes first. It's about gathering data from the birds, but the welfare is paramount. And again, that experience was just totally unanticipated on my part, and to have that as part of my traineeship is just fantastic. And I now feel like I can go forward with a lot more confidence into that part of conservation. Don't give up, because I didn't. Like I said, this was my fourth go at trying to get into this kind of job. Don't be afraid to ask for things, because that's what I did. I saw opportunities and I thought, well, can I do that? They can only say no. Yeah, another bit of advice would be, you don't have to take the conventional route to get into what you want to do in life. Something I've always felt is that, people go through school, they go to college, they go to university, they get a job, and sometimes it doesn't work out like that. And it's fine if you don't do well at school. It's fine if you're not good at a particular thing, but don't listen to people if they're telling you you can't do that and you shouldn't do that. If you've got a love for something and you want to do it, go for it. You can make it happen. You don't need to follow the conventional route to get into things. It's all about persistence. That's what I would say.